Mark Burnett with RePoBrain.com. Today we're in the kitchen and we're making Korean barbecued pork. Now we're making it a little differently than sometimes you might get at the restaurant. We're using some of the barbecue sauces that they have at the Korean stores, and these you can actually buy at any Korean market or a lot of the Asian markets, so you have to kind of look for this. You're not going to find this in your normal grocery store. But essentially it comes in a couple different kinds. One is a beef, and you've got a beef kebab, and then you've got a pork. Now this pork one's pretty hot and spicy, and some of the gifts I'm having over tomorrow, actually, as I'm preparing this, probably not going to like it to be that spicy. So I'm going to go with the beef style sauces, but use a pork. Now what I'm using here is a black pork belly sliced, is what it is. Looks just like bacon, no different. Matter of fact, essentially that's what it is. But it's not spiced, nor is it smoked in any way. This is just raw. And again, I got this at the Korean market. It's kind of hard to find at normal markets to find it sliced like this way without being smoked. But essentially, that's what you want. You want unprepared raw slices that are very slim, look just like pork. There's also a little bone in here. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to open this up. And if you look at this, it's very hard to see, but right here's a little bone because of the way they slice it. Okay, so we're going to make sure all that's removed. We don't want anybody to get any of that, so we're going to take some of this up and cut it up. So we'll start that now. All right, essentially here we're going to take one of our ceramic knives here. We're going to go along this bacon, and this is where this particular bone is here. And we just want to essentially debone it. We don't want that little piece in there. Some of these cuts don't have it, some do. I just don't want to hit it. Okay, and just make sure there's no bone in here. Then I'm going to slice these in a sense about, ½ inch maybe sections. Use my little bigger knife here. Like this here so you can see. And what I'm essentially looking for is something like that. Okay, and you're just going to keep it together. And we're going to slice all these. Now we've got quite a few here. We've got like 4 packs here for our party, so that's going to be pretty big. So we're going to be marinating quite a bit. But what we're going to do is be mixing up these marinades a little bit, putting that in here, and actually letting this sit overnight. You can let it sit for just a couple hours if you want, or even an hour. But the more it soaks that in, the more flavorful it's going to get when we grill this, and that's what we're going to want to do. We're going to grill this a little bit and bring out some really nice flavor of this. Okay. Now also we've got some other pork here. This is lechon kawali, which is a Filipino dish, essentially, and it's somewhat the same type of idea here. It's got a very thin pork, but this has the skin on it, and essentially it's roasted. And look for that in one of our other videos where we talk about how to make this. This stuff is really good. Now that we're cut our pork, essentially, we're going to put it in a bowl here. We're going to break it up here. Make sure it's all one got away here. Put it in here and just kind of layer it. Okay, that's really what we're trying to do. And just break this up and layer it. Like that. Clean up our hands here a little bit, and then we're going to grab some of our seasoning here, one we've already got open. And we're going to put some of our barbecue on here. Just the beef one. Again, both of these are the beef ones, and I'm using them on the pork, which is probably not something the Koreans want me to do here. But I like it because it's not that hot. The pork one that they have, like I mentioned before, is quite warm, and people don't always like that. Then I just kind of get in here with my hands. Okay, move this around, get it all in here. So essentially, I'm mixing this all in, trying to get this marinade everywhere. And then we're going to let it set. Now I'm going to put it inside the refrigerator, and we're going to let it set. In this case, we're going to let it set overnight. But again, you only have to do maybe an hour or so or something like that. But actually, this will marinate well in overnight. And essentially, then we're going to grill it. And there's a couple different ways we can grill it. We could grill it on the grill with a pan, or essentially a small pan with some holes in it and stuff like that, and grill it that way. Or we can use a different type of pan, which we'll show you in a minute, which you can do it in that way. If you don't have a grill outside, you can use it that way. So it's going to be pretty easy. Okay, let's put that in the refrigerator and we'll go from there. Okay, we're back, and now it's been next day. We've got our pork nice and marinated, as you can see. Now I've got a big bag of this. I actually had a big bag in the refrigerator. I just filled that baggie with it, sealed it up, and let that pork sit. So it's had plenty of time. And you can see we could put this on the grill, and we could put this on like a little holder for small items and stuff like that, and grill on top of it. We could do that. Or we could also use one of these little grill things you buy from the store. Here's my trusty George Foreman, which I've cooked a lot on here. Okay, so I'm going to take this and put it on here, save a little time, put a lot on here at one time. Now, the reason I didn't talk about a lot of measurements is that literally there's not a lot of measurements with this one. You simply put the sauce on, cover, and that's all you really need. You don't have to put a cup or half a cup or anything. It doesn't really work that way. You put as much sauce on as you want. We close the lid on this, then we'll turn, and then we'll be ready. Okay, hey, look at this. This is looking good. This is kind of what we're after here. Right here. Like this piece. And some of these we just have to turn. And we're ready to go. We'll take these off, and then we can put them in a dish and serve them. And you can eat them on top of rice if you'd like, or you can eat them by themselves. They're really, really good. Excellent. So, here we are. We've got our roast pork done. This stuff is really excellent. This Korean barbecued pork, and essentially we've got a little rice in here that we put it on. Now of course you're going to want to make a lot bigger bowl than this, but this is it. It's great. It's got that Korean flavor. It's caramelized nicely. It's fatty because it's a fatty, really fatty pork like bacon. It's excellent. That's all I can say. Get some of this, try it. You can cook it a bunch of different ways. Really simple. Just grill it up and you're ready to go. Remember, RePoBrain.com. Check out our other recipes and our other food products at RePoBrain.com anytime you want. See you then.